talking about the incestuous black family, sexual abuse, and the ways they try to hide it or the way they victim blame. So now we got that out the way. Honestly, I don't have any questions or I didn't write anything down. So if I'm kind of all over the place, please excuse me. But this is something that I really want to talk about due to the fact that it happens so often, and people try to bury it like it's okay, and it's not okay. It will never be okay that your grandfather touched your private area, and and when you told, you still have to go around granddad, and you weren't able to be a kid anymore. So honestly, this topic was brought up due to the fact that a lot of people still support R. Kelly, and they are posting all on their timelines that they're still going to support him. Nobody cares if you're going to support a pedophile, just like nobody cares if you're still going to support Nicki Minaj. These are my views. And, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in the comments. I'll address them, but it's just kind of really sad that people still want to debate the fact that molestation is okay and sexual abuse is okay. It's not okay, and it will never be okay. And I feel like a lot of people won't understand until it happens to them or to one of their kids. So it is what it is. And I don't know, this is a really heavy topic for me, just for people to sit there and say that they're still going to support somebody that knowingly, everybody knows this happened, okay? Everybody in the music industry knew about R. Kelly, and they just continued to skip over it like the shit really didn't matter, when in reality it did. So let's stop pretending like it doesn't matter, because it does. And boom. So, and I remember one time I was at my auntie's house, and my quote unquote uncle tried to, abuse me. He tried to touch me inappropriately. And when I told, my auntie called me a liar and saying how it never happened. I'm just making stuff up in my head, and I was a hoe anyways. Like, how am I a whore at the age of 13? Like, so then I just told her to call my mama. Like, just call my mama, have her come get me. So my mom ended up coming to get me, and we filed a police report. So honestly, I can't say that through all of that, my mom was and still is my biggest supporter, even though I realized, like, sometimes I am the problem. That's it. Will I apologize for being the problem? Not now, maybe later. Straight up. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. So it's a lot of black families tend to hide. They say what happens in the home stays in the home, but honestly, that is the part that's really destroying the whole family structure. Just because if something happens and you need help, you should want to seek outside help, even if that means going to therapy, going to the police. Go to wherever you feel celebrated and you know that someone is going to listen to you, and they're not going to make it seem like your concerns are invalid. So a lot of times, like, it's crazy because you can literally be in the same house with your abuser, and because they told you, if you tell, I'll kill your whole family, whatever, you tend to hide it, right? Yes. So for people to sit there and say, well, if this happened, why didn't you say anything, or why did you wait so late, and da da da, because people, how can you manipulate a child to get your way? That's crazy. people will literally manipulate children and then victim blame them and say, well, if you would have told this wouldn't have happened sooner. There are signs. Honestly, there are signs that you should pay attention to. Like if they just start bedwetting out of nowhere, if they begin to act like a totally different child, if they have outbursts, you say one little thing to them and they just have an outburst, like come on. There are signs, and I feel like a lot of people now, I say a lot of people, but honestly, our mothers and fathers they had trauma too. So while they were having to be parents, they had to work through their traumas. And when you get older, you honestly realize that that's what it is. It's not like your mom wanted to neglect you because that's what she wanted to do. Being a single mom is hard. Being a single mother with no help is even harder. But when you're a single mother and you have family that are supposed to be helping you, and I say helping because it's technically not help if they are abusing you, or while your parent isn't around, they telling you that you're not worth anything, and that is mental abuse. So while people sit there and say, if anybody ever tries to bully me, it doesn't affect me, because growing up black and fat in a family full of skinny people, they will literally drag you through hell. Like when I was like 12, or I can't remember how old I was. It was so long ago, but my cousin, one time he was talking about me, and he just made me feel so low about myself that I went home and my mom told me, like, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. And I said, but I'm not. My life is in shambles. And you're talking about I'm beautiful and la 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 la. And she said, girl, what's wrong with you? She asked me what was wrong with me, so I said, my cousin told me that I was this, and this. And she was like, don't listen to him. It was just jokes and la la la. But those jokes can really hurt your confidence. So now I'm to the age where no matter what you say, it doesn't matter to me, because, again, growing up black and fat, it's like they will tell you fat every chance they get. They will literally put you down so bad. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Like, the incestuous black family. I don't understand where the fascination of your cousin comes from. Like, that's disgusting, number one. And I think it comes from the fact of a lot of parents have sex in the house while their kids are there. So they want to explore, they want to see what bodies do, and they want to know these things. And the first person that you're able to experiment with is the people that you're left alone with, which tends to be your family. And that's why when my kids ask me, can I spend a night somewhere? My answer is no. Because you have to watch kids around kids too. You just can't say, well, is an adult going to be there? Okay, even if an adult is there, you really cannot trust children around children. Children grow up fast. And it's not even the fact that they wanted to, it's the fact that they had to. Because a lot of parents let their weather, let their storm affect their children. So, you know, if your mom's not there because she's working 10 to 12 hours a day, you have to learn how to cook if you don't want to be hungry. You have to learn how to keep yourself entertained. You're going to, you know, even though your mom used to say, you know, don't go outside if I'm not here, and you went outside. Cause I did it too, but I just only got caught one time. I just only got caught one time, and I got a whooping for that, you know, and I just didn't do it no more. So anyway, and honestly, I can't even say that it's all black families. You know, black families are the only ones that do it. It's more than just the black families, but I know for me, the fact of the matter is that I honestly feel like a lot of my older cousins tried to groom me. And when I say groom, I mean they were like trying to prepare me for adult activities even though I was a child. So when I got to the age to where I was able to do things freely, you know, I did them freely. And because she did the best that she could. But I also realized, you know, had she paid a little more attention, she would have seen the things that me and my brother were subjected to. And yeah. So a lot of my older cousins, like when I would go spend the weekend with them, you know, they would have basement parties, and the whole time, you know how they had like the house parties in Chicago, whatever. They was having the basement dance parties, and the whole time I'm just not even supposed to be down there. I'm down there, sitting in the corner, watching all this crazy stuff go on, like. One time they was in a house party giving fellatio. Like, what's going on here? So so it wasn't even the fact that I wanted to watch porn, because I seen porn in real life. You know, and it's just crazy how people will victim blame a real life victim. And I can't really say that I'm a victim anymore, because this is me taking my strength back. So this is why I decided to do this. This is me taking my power back, because I went to therapy. I'm not going to say therapy doesn't help. It does help you get over things, but it's not going to stop the replay of the trauma in your head. And that's just real life. So yeah. I mean, you can go to therapy all you want, but as soon as you tell the therapist you suicidal, they are not listening any longer. They are going to call the police, and they are going to have the psychiatric ward come and pick you up. So while people say be honest with your therapist, be honest to a certain extent, okay? Be honest to the point where you get the medication you need, and be honest to the point where you're able to get the help that you need. But I would say only be openly honest if you plan on going to the psychiatric ward, straight up. So there's that. Yeah, a lot of times I felt like I was just like in a real life simulation, due to the fact that like people was literally around me trying to groom me for stuff that I wasn't even ready for. Like, I'm 11, 12, and like I can remember a time even younger than that. I was like 7 or 8, and I had went to my auntie's house, and my cousin was having sex with his girlfriend, and then she was pregnant. But I'm just saying, like, I literally can't remember what happened. All I know is that we came over there, um, and I just remember going to the bathroom, but his room was next door to the bathroom. So I was like, what is that sound? Boom, open the door. He up there, bamming her like, sick. Sick. You know, and it's just crazy that I could laugh about it now, but it's really very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to talk about it because there are a lot of ways that you are groomed and you don't even realize it until you're 30, you know, till you older and you realize, like, dang, that wasn't right, and that wasn't right. You know, there's no reason why at 12 years old, me walking from the school bus stop, that a grown man should be following me all the way to my house, and he just keeps saying, dang, you so pretty, where you live, how old are you, blah blah, dang, your booty fat, da 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 da, like, how old are you? Like, literally told this grown ass 30-year-old man that I was 12, and he told me that I was lying. He told me that I was lying and that I wasn't 12. I said, how you gonna tell me how old I am? How are you gonna tell me how old I am? And there was another time where my mom had a friend and she had a son. He knew how old I was. And he still would be like, you could come hang out with me, we could play video games, and I got some snacks. But my mom trusted him to look after me and my brother, and that's where a lot of my mistrust comes from, because a lot of people that were being trusted with my safety and my security, they were not securing me or making me go or making me feel safe. And he knew how old I was, and he whipped his thing out on me, and I was like, oh my God, what is that? What is that? Leave it over there in your pants. You know, so I just remember a lot of times being subjected by family. So that's why when somebody else did it to me, it really didn't matter. And my older female cousin, I can't remember how old she was, but honestly, she was being trusted to watch us too. And as soon as my mama would drop us off, you know, she would be like, she would just start abusing me and my brother. Like, every time we did something, we touched something, she tried to hit us with an extension cord. So me and my brother got to the point where we just said, you know, if you put your hands on us again, we gonna jump your ass. Because ain't no way you supposed to be watching us, but you up here abusing us, hitting us with stitcher cords and poking us with needles and stuff, talking about we deserve to be treated this way because we spoiled by our grandma and our mother, and we don't deserve all the shit that we get. And you tried to make it seem like that was our fault, that my granny was there for us. Like, how is that our fault? But I think she got to the point where it was more jealousy, just because I remember when we were going to Florida, we were gonna go to Disneyland, Disney World, one of those, and She wanted to come. But my grandma had an extra ticket. So it was going to be me and somebody else. So when it was time for me to get picked up, she wanted to come, and she had really bad eczema, whatever. So to the point where her skin looked like flakes. So her skin would be peeling, and it just whatever. So when my granny said, go put some lotion on, whatever, and when she put the lotion on, she still looked ashy. So my granny told her to put some Vaseline on. But when she put the Vaseline on, my granny said, you look like a grease monkey. I'm not taking you anywhere with me, da 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 da. And then after that moment, it just seemed like everything we did while she was supposed to be babysitting us didn't make sense. Like, how am I getting a whooping because I said I wanted some ramen? How am I getting a whooping because I said I'm hungry? How you gonna be mad and gonna try to say, well, I didn't deserve to go to Florida. I didn't deserve to go swimming with the dolphins. I didn't deserve anything that I ever got, and I never amount to anything. Da, da, da. Who are you to say that? Who are you to say that? So it took me a while to realize that whole time it just be jealousy. Like, people will literally see that you are going to be somebody, and that makes them upset. Like, I never understood it. So when she figured out that she couldn't hit us anymore, because me and my brother got to the point where if you hit us, we gonna jump you. So she couldn't hit us no more. So now it was, okay, well, I'm gonna take her around people that are gonna subjectify her and make her feel like, that's all she's worth is sex. So a lot of the times when when we would go around her, it was more of, oh, I know you young, but you should come to this party, and we gonna have a party in the basement, and you allowed to come in the basement, and do whole time I'm the only kid in this party. Everybody else is 16 and up. Y'all knew right from wrong. Parties was wild. And the crazy part was, my auntie was upstairs the whole time. My auntie was upstairs while they was throwing the whole party. She knew what was good. She didn't know exactly what was going on, but she knew what was going on, because when she come down there, everybody just be acting strange. You get to start standing around and doing weird stuff. Like, come on, man. You had to have a clue about what was going on. Like, and I can't even say why they subjectify me like that. It just happened. Maybe they didn't know any better. Maybe they learned it from their mom and their father. I don't know where they learned it from. But all I know is that a lot of stuff I should have been protected from. But instead of them protecting me, it was more of, let's see what she gonna do, And that's just where that came from. And I remember one time my cousin was there. My older male cousin was at the house. This was like a 2-story house. So my cousin was upstairs in his room, and my cousin's baby daddy at the time was in my cousin's room, and I was downstairs, and it was just us three there. So I was downstairs chilling, watching a movie, and I got invited upstairs, and he said, sure, cool, whatever, because I thought he was cool. And he just started touching on my body. Just started fondling me, and I was screaming like, no, get off me. And my cousin, who was in the other room, turned up the fucking TV. Turned up the music. That's when I feel like that right there was the moment where I realized, like, no matter, or at least I felt like, because I'm not going to realize, I can't realize something that's not true. Because now, when I meet black men, they try to protect me, and they hold me very dear and close to their heart, and I can appreciate them for that. But at the same time, my people that were my tribe that I was born into, that were supposed to protect me, they didn't. That's where I realized that family can be your biggest enemy, you know? And it's not, and I can't really say why he did that. I don't even care. I went to therapy for it already. For the most part, I am healed, but there are times when I just sit and I think about all the trauma. Like, y'all were supposed to protect me, bro, and y'all didn't. So how should I really feel about y'all? Like, am I wrong for feeling the way that I feel about y'all? Am I wrong for moving over 1,000 miles away and never wanting to see y'all or talk to y'all again? Am I wrong for alienating y'all? Am I wrong for that? No, I don't think I'm wrong. If somebody says I'm wrong, then hey, that's fine, that's your opinion. But over here, I don't think I'm wrong. And yeah. And then when I was 15, I was 15. So I found out on Friday, right? I was supposed to have my ultrasound on Monday. But before I could make it into the ultrasound, I went into labor. So the whole time, everybody's like, you know, who shot the baby daddy, da 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 da. You know, she said she was never having kids, and I don't understand how she got pregnant. And, oh, it is what it is. But whole time, my mama didn't even know, like. But I can say, like, my mama, she didn't know that I was having sex, but she knew that I knew about sex, because there was a time when she caught me watching porn. She caught me watching porn, and she said, well, do you have any questions? Is there something you want to tell me? Da 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 da. And I just said no. Like, I pretty much know. I pretty much know what that's about. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't know what sex is, because I do. You know, but do I have any questions? No, I don't have any questions. Why would I have questions if I think I know everything already? Ha ha ha. You know, kind of deal. And so, yeah, when I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, man, that's crazy. Cause listen, to me, I was already fat, so I just got a little pudgier, whatever. And then people around me was just like, oh my God, look at your stomach, you pregnant, da 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 da. It's just crazy to me that, like, it's so incestuous though. Like cousins having sex with cousins, and like they are literally the older cousins raping the younger cousins. Like, they're literally trying to get younger cousins to experiment with sex with them. That's when I was like, and I had to, no, let me go back and finish that statement. That's when I became hypersexual. Like I wanted to know everything about it. Like, cause it's like, why was he so fascinated with it that instead of him fooling with a grown woman that was in the same house as us, why would he choose me for that? And so that's when I just really started looking at things differently. Like, you know, I just started looking at things differently. And then when my cousins introduced me to, you know, the other side of it, and me being dropped off and really honestly not having any adult supervision, like, that's when I was like, man, this is wow, this is awesome. You know, it's not awesome, it's actually very sick. So honestly, okay, so now this is where I have questions, and you could answer them in the comments. Why is it so incestuous? Like, why is the first person that you experiment, or why experiment with sexual things with, why is it family? Like, when you playing with your cousins and they be playing house and shit, why? Another question is, how do you think grooming affects you? My answer, how grooming affects you, is you become numb to the fact that you are being sexually abused. So in your mind, you're thinking it's fine, but it's really wrong. So they tell you, oh, don't worry, this is normal, everybody does it. Okay, so if everybody doing it, why can't I go to the teacher and tell the teacher what happened? Question number 3. Have you felt protected by the men in your family? And if you have, what about it makes it feel like protection? Is it protection out of love, or is it protection for another reason? And if you were sexually abused, like, how long did you wait to tell? Did you wait years, or did you tell right away? And this is my last question. Did you ever say that you didn't want kids? Like, did you ever feel like you didn't want to have kids because of the traumas that you were put through as a child, and you knew that you may not heal from it, so you didn't want to subject other smaller people to those wounds? Because that's how I felt. Like, I honestly went around like, I'm not having no kids, I don't want to have kids, you know, kids are horrible. Like, I didn't feel like they were horrible, but it's like, you know, kids are innocent and they should not be subjected to the harsh realities of this world. That's how I felt. Because, like, I grew up and I can say that it was good. I had a good childhood, you know, but I grew up and I had my grandma there, and I had my mom there. And we went on trips, and she took me to do things that I'm grateful that she gave me the opportunity, but I remember more trauma than anything, and that's crazy, because I went to Disney World and Disneyland. I went to Nickelodeon Studios. I only remember one thing about Nickelodeon Studios, and that was the fact that I got slimed. Like, I swam with dolphins. I don't remember that, but I got pictures of it. So do you think trauma really affects your memory? That's another question. Answer these questions in the comments, because I really want to know. Like, do you think trauma affects your memory? Is that why I'm 30 years old, still trying to scramble and remember good things about my childhood, so that when my kids actually ask, I have something good to tell them? Like, I don't know. Like, my son said, "Did your mom ever take you to school?" And honestly, I told him no, because I don't even remember that. I remember I had to catch the city bus to school, me and my brother, and we had to walk all the way from 60th and Lisbon all the way down to 54th and Lisbon. And we had to catch the bus to Claire Barton Elementary. Like when my son asks me questions about my childhood, and he's like, "Well, did your mom ever do this, and did she do that?" And I don't know. I just say, I don't know. I can't remember. Because honestly, I don't. I remember more bad things than anything. It's not. And I don't think it's because my mom was a bad mom. It's just the fact that trauma got in the way. So, thanks for joining on this episode of Honesty Hour. I'll be back again. You guys, please feel free to answer those questions in the comments. Thank you. See y'all next week. Hey, this is peace. This is war. So peace. I say.